So what is race IQ and how does it differ from racecraft? Well, it shouldn't really. Fundamentally, it's the same thing. The problem is that when you mention racecraft to, I think, the majority of people below a certain level, they tend to think of wheel-to-wheel racing, attacking and defending, going for overtakes, etc. Whereas actually racecraft is a lot more than that, and that is what is inferred by race IQ. So race IQ is the ability to see the bigger picture, the ability to read what's happening, situational awareness, decision making, race management, not just your wheel-to-wheel racing. And it's those aspects that can really dramatically change your experience, particularly at lower ranks in Gran Turismo 7. Now, this is a video series that I've already done. I called it Racecraft for lower ranks. There was 5 videos, one for each rank up to A rank, and I'm basically redoing it. So why am I redoing it? Well, a couple of reasons. Number one, I can basically do a better job of it this time because before I couldn't edit videos. It was just me talking over the raw footage. Now I can edit them. I can adjust the sound, the audio. I can make it a more polished product. Why do I want a more polished product? Because this is a ridiculously common question. I cannot tell you, and you must have seen this yourselves, every single week on Discord there is at least one person justly complaining about how bad the driving standards are at their given rank and how much it is making them want to quit the game. And plenty of people have quit the game as a result of it, at least temporarily. I was one of those people. So this is absolutely a topic worth doing again. And since I always refer people back to those original videos, I'd like to have a more polished product to refer them back to, hence trying to do it again. But no harm in talking about this topic again, right? Because it is unarguably the biggest issue in Gran Turismo 7, period. Unless somehow you're having a different experience. But I don't really think there is anyone having a different experience below the top splits. So we're going to do the same thing we did before, where I've gone back to E rank, started a new account, going to work my way through, do a video for each rank, probably even going to do one for A plus this time, which I didn't do before. Same rules apply. I'm going to nerf the speed of the car with the fuel map to make it a bit more representative, that I'm closer to the pace of these lobbies, and I'm deliberately going to hold back pace-wise, so that what you see me achieving is what you could achieve in these lobbies if you are a fast driver for the given lobby that you're in. So if you're a fast E driver or a fast C driver, you can achieve and affect the same results that you're going to see me do here. This works much better in daily race C than daily race B, purely from a time point of view. You don't have the time to be patient in daily race B, whereas in daily race C you do. So basic rules. Now, we went over basic rules last time, and there were 2 basic rules, which was, if there's a large gaggle of cars right in front of you, don't engage. Don't even try to engage with them. Just be patient, because you will pick up positions through what inevitably will happen, that being chaos. Don't try to go around the outside of someone unless you implicitly trust them. You can get away with this in E, D, and C because of the heavy ghosting, but once you move into B rank, it's going to get you pushed off track. Simple as that. Because people don't leave space, either deliberately or unknowingly, and I will be touching on why that happens unknowingly. It's not always what you think it might be. But I've got 2 more added rules this time round. Rule number 3 is don't overreact. It's amazing how often something happens that you overreact to, and it's the overreaction that kills your race, not the incident itself. Very often, if you stay calm and you take the right actions and make the right decisions, you can still mitigate the effect of whatever it is that's grieved you. But if you overreact, that is what kills your race. And number 4, this one's more relevant for when you get to that rank that you are plateauing at. That's going to take you time to work through, where you're always racing quite often against the same people. Make friends. Now, this doesn't have to be PSN friends, and it doesn't have to be PSN friends that become real life friends, but it does need to be allies on track. It needs to be people on track that you can trust, that they know you, you know them, and you can have good races together. You've all had races where you feel like you're driving against enemies and those races go bad. But when you're driving with quote unquote friends, it is a totally different experience. So this guy's gonna go for the move. We've got more straight line speed, so we're not gonna defend it. And that's why we're not gonna defend it. Now I'm gonna talk about what's going wrong in the braking zones and why there's so much chaos, right? Why there's so much issues in braking zones. But for the moment, just stay calm and patient behind this big gaggle of cars. Don't try to go for any moves, because in the first couple of laps, look how many cars are spinning off track. And I believe there is a key mentality causing this problem that I'm going to explore with you. You let me know whether you agree with it. But I do think it's something that hasn't been mentioned. So here we go. Again, we're not going to try and engage. We're just going to wait, stay behind, because they're all just spinning off track. You can either be one of these people that's spinning off track, or you can be the guy that's patient and works your way through it. Again, giving people space, watching the rear view mirror, trying to place the car where I need to put it to survive. Let's give this guy a bump draft. Let's give Den Block a bump draft and see if that makes him our friend. Do it enough times and it will be. So here we are, where rule number one, a big gaggle of cars, don't engage, because most of them aren't going to survive. There we go, they're already driving off track. Now in this situation, when you're side by side, or when two cars are side by side, you can choose to bump draft one of them. In this case, I'm just going to stay behind them both. Look, they're already nudging each other. I'm going to talk about that, okay? I am going to talk about that. Braked a little bit late myself there. Oh, don't hit me. I'm backing out. I backed out because he did not give room. He was not going to give room. And again, I don't think it's deliberate. I'll tell you why I think that's happening later. So I backed out because he was about to put me on the grass. Again, race IQ, seeing the bigger picture, reading what's actually happening. We're only 7.7 seconds off the lead and I'm matching these guys' pace. So race is looking good. Race is looking fine. Trying to teach this patient approach. Here we go. That's another one off track. He's got dirty tyres now. Will he take that into consideration, or is there going to be another incident? Now he's got dirty tyres again. No, I don't want to go outside him because I'm going to get pushed off. The BMW's got dirty tyres. I'm being very wary here of just trying not to go around the outside people. There we go. So just trying to be cautious. I wasn't trying to race. I was just trying to survive. That's all. Just trying to survive, and we picked up another position. Oh, I'm going to brake because this guy's going for it. There we go. There we go. Now, what would have happened if you had tried to brake later? I'm going to explain this later on. It's going to be really eye-opening. What would have happened if you had tried to defend that by braking late as well? You'd be in the sand. You'd be in the gravel as well. I'm going to explain what's happening there, because I don't think I've ever seen anyone truly explain what it is that causes that situation. Again, just my opinion, just my anecdotal opinion, but I think you'll find it interesting. Alright, so where are we then? 10 seconds off the lead, it's only lap 2, more people flying off track. All you're trying to do here is just keep it on the track. Just be the guy that doesn't do something stupid, that's all. Even if it's not your fault, I guarantee you it's avoidable. I don't want to put a percentage on it. I don't want to say it's avoidable 80% of the time, 9 out of 10 times, but it's not my pace that's making me avoid all of this, because I'm cruising. It's my ability to read and see what is happening around me. Now, if it settles down a little bit here, we're 10 seconds off the lead. This is fine. Objectively, what you're looking for, as I said in the original video series, in order to rank up, what you're looking for is consistent top 5 finishes. If you finish on the podium 3 times in a row, but then you finish P14 in the next race, you've just wiped out all the DR that you gained. Now watch the re-entry of this guy. The only reason I didn't get hit there is because I was watching his re-entry, not because he was taking care to watch out for me. And another one's off track. Watch the re-entry. Okay, again, if we'd placed our car in the wrong position, we could have got hit with him coming back on track. Once again, race IQ. So, if it's calmed down a bit, we've got no one behind us, we've got a few cars in front. Right, okay. Let's talk. Right, he's got dirty tyres. Okay, oh, is he giving me room? I think he actually was giving me room there. He's got dirty tyres, he's probably going to spin on the exit by trying to get the pot throttle down too early. Or I'm going to spin. No, he didn't spin. Well done. Nice to see someone accounting for dirty tyres there. Right, let's talk about braking zones. And let's talk about why there is constant chaos and carnage in braking zones at pretty much every rank. Let's be honest, it even happens in A rank, doesn't it, right? There is a misunderstanding amongst lower ranked drivers, and I guess this works in every sim, but it's definitely a case in Gran Turismo. There is a misunderstanding amongst lower ranked drivers about what driving fast actually is, what it actually should be. What I mean by that is that lower ranked drivers believe that driving faster, finding more pace, becoming a faster driver is about braking later and later and later. I can tell you this is partly why I wanted to redo this video series, because I have more coaching experience than the last time that I did it. I'm over 350 hours now. And I can tell you that someone's level in the game directly correlates to their appreciation, understanding, and comprehension of the principle of slow in, fast out. So what am I talking about there? When you try to find lap time by braking later and later, you reach a point where you're braking as late as the car can physically manage and still stay on the track. And that's what you're seeing here. That's why everyone's spinning off in braking zones, right? Because they're braking too late. That's what's happening. So, when you watch motorsport on the television, you watch your favorite driver, you watch the top split guys in Gran Turismo, in GTWS, or you watch a fast streamer like Digit. Let's say Digit goes for a move. Let's say Digit goes to outbrake someone in a braking zone. So he's going to try and brake later than the guy in front to then put his car in front and gain a position. Now, Digit knows, just like the real life drivers, Max Verstappen, Lewis Hamilton, Kevin Estre in GT, whatever, Digit knows the guy he's trying to overtake isn't braking as late as possible into that corner. He's sacrificing the corner entry to get a good exit. Slow in, fast out. The car can't do fast in, fast out. It can't brake late and accelerate early. It can brake late, accelerate late, fast in, slow out, or it can brake early, accelerate early, slow in, fast out. My driving's all over the place here, which is actually fine because we want to be slow right now. And this is not comprehended, this is not understood by lower ranks. So when you have a lower rank lobby like this, and someone is naturally braking too late for the corner, even when they're not trying to overtake someone, okay? They're braking too late for the corner, even when they're not trying to overtake someone. I can promise you this, because it is one of the absolute most common mistakes in coaching. I'm going to do most common mistakes in coaching video when I can figure out the technicals of the things I want to do in that video. So, if someone's already braking too late for a corner, to the extent in E and D lobbies, this is very true, to the extent that they're barely keeping the car on track already, even with no other cars around them, which is what you just saw, right? Rewind the video and count how many times you've just seen that exact thing happen. Now let's say someone else decides to try and outbrake, overtake that first individual. That first individual is already braking so late he's on the limit of what the car can do, or even beyond it. He's already struggling to make the corner himself. And then someone else comes along and says, I'm going to outbrake this guy. I'm going to overtake him in the braking zone. So they brake even later. Where's that second person going? Again, rewind the video, watch what everyone just did. It's lap 5 and I'm in the lead. So when someone's already braking too late, an outbrake overtake on that person is impossible, and it will only lead to carnage, chaos, collisions, and flying straight off track. Now, if there's no one in front of that guy trying to perform the overtake, he's going to fly straight off track. If there is someone in front of that guy trying to perform the overtake, just noticed I'm actually being caught here. We'll let this happen, I think. If there is someone in front of the guy trying to do the overtake, he's now going to torpedo them. Most people, I didn't understand this when I was at these levels. Most people aren't deliberately torpedoing others into corners, at least not to begin with. Okay, I know it does happen. There are some people out there doing it deliberately. But in my opinion, the majority of it, the vast majority of it, is a complete lack of understanding of slow in, fast out, a complete lack of understanding of what the car can do when trying to perform an overtake, an outbrake maneuver, and simply braking way too late. I've had coaching students, I've seen where they're braking, and they're already on the limit of what the car can do. And if you try to outbrake that person, you're going straight off track. You're going straight to the scene of the accident, as Martin Brundle would say. The only reason people like Digit can pull off outbrake overtakes is because they know where the guy in front is trying to brake, and they know that is not as late as possible. They know that that person is sacrificing the corner entry to get a good exit. So that, in my opinion, is the cause of a lot of the initial contact in braking zones. What then happens, where the deliberate part comes in, is it gets misinterpreted. It gets misunderstood. And it certainly doesn't help that people don't wait up. So this is where rule number 4 comes in, about making friends. If you are one of those people that's been braking too late and you genuinely try to go for an overtake maneuver by outbraking someone, and it results in you hitting someone, and you don't wait up for that individual is going to assume that you did it deliberately, and you have now made an enemy. That person's going to remember your name and take you out in the next race, or even the same race. Whereas if you do wait up for that individual now knows it was not deliberate, and you have now won a friend. Oh my goodness, wasn't sure if he was going to ghost then. So, what causes this mentality then? That's an interesting one, right? Because I think there is a core reason behind this mentality of what you see in Gran Turismo. And I think it comes down, if we're honest, to one word, and that is ego. So, how do I explain this? And you let me know in the comments if you think I'm right with this. The vast majority of people playing this game are men. Now, I can tell you that for a fact, and I know that from, I mean, let's be honest, you already know that, but I know that from the YouTube demographics that I've got, the YouTube analytics. I know it from coaching, I know it from Discord, and if you're in any way social in this game, you know that too. Now, whether this is a unspoken or spoken thought in most men's mind, I believe it is there. I believe it exists for most men. What am I talking about? I believe we all watch real-life motorsport on the television. We've all got favourite drivers and motorsport series that we love to follow. And in another life, if circumstances had been different, many of us would love to have been a racing driver. And just like, to illustrate the point, how many men have you come across who, with zero hand-to-hand combat training, believe that they would be good in a street fight? And when pressed on why they think they would be good in a street fight, normally something along the lines of, you don't understand, man, when it goes down, I just go red zone, I'm crazy. That, bottom line, ask anyone with hand-to-hand combat training, that means nothing. That means nothing. The guy with hand-to-hand combat training is going to win the street fight every single time. So, Luke, what are you talking about? What has this got to do with Gran Turismo 7? I believe that same assumption of one's abilities exists when it comes to sim racing. We all watch motorsport in real life. We're all motorsport fans, and sim racing provides us with an opportunity to scratch that itch that never existed for us in real life. So we all come into motorsport, particularly men, and we think we're pretty good at it. And for some people, that's true. They do turn out to be pretty good at it. For other people, let's be honest, the majority of people, they don't. Depending on what your metric of pretty good is, the majority of people don't turn out to be pretty good at it. And that offends our egos. We're now hurt by the fact that we're not good at something. So how do we go about getting better at it? Well, apparently the solution that most people come up with is to break even later, is to try even harder. So you can't, in all fairness, let's be really honest about what just happened in this race. Again, go and watch it again. You don't need to watch it again. You've all experienced these races. You can't honestly watch this and tell me that this isn't ego-fueled. Everyone trying to go for a move on every single corner. Everyone braking way too late. Everyone trying to do what they've seen their favorite drivers on television do, even though they have zero understanding and training of how to do what they see on television. Everyone hears someone like Max Verstappen or Lewis Hamilton say that they managed to find a way to brake later into a given corner. What's being missed there, the context that's being missed, is they found a way to brake later but still get the same exit. Braking later is not worth it if it compromises your exit. So like I said, being fast in this game is a sliding scale of your comprehension and appreciation and understanding of the principle of slow in, fast out. So this is a very ego-fueled arena. This is a very adrenaline-fueled arena where people are coming into this like a bull in a china shop. Now, if you're one of those people, whether you've put a message on Discord or Reddit or not about how bad the driving standards are, let's be clear about this for a second. Can you honestly put your hands up and say that you haven't been that person that I've just described? I'll be the first person to put my hand up, okay? I'm not pointing a finger at you, I'm pointing a finger at me. I'll be the first person to say that I drove that way, that I used to drive that way. I used to try and brake as late as possible. I used to go for moves all the time. I used to try and conduct the race like Lewis Hamilton's race engineer is watching, and I was going to get his replacement seat at Mercedes if I performed well enough in that race. Now, let's be objective about this. Now that we've largely agreed this is an ego, adrenaline-fueled game where people are coming into it like a bull in a china shop, how many people is that working out for? How many of these people are capable of setting the lap times I'm capable of here, but would be getting a much better finishing position if they were just patient like I was patient just now? How many of these people would have much better races if they were patient with their driving approach and stopped panicking about trying to make moves all the time? Stop panicking about trying to brake later. Just sit and wait for the carnage to happen and just be patient with it. I firmly believe, after 350 hours of coaching, going back to these lobbies, helping coaching students to deal with this thing all the time, I firmly believe that everyone is capable of getting to at least B rank. Everyone. Even if you have below average aptitude for this. Again, I use that word aptitude rather than talent, because talent has a bit of a stigma to it, doesn't it? So aptitude. I have zero aptitude for mathematics, none whatsoever. Me and mathematics is literally like I might as well be dyslexic. I probably have some sort of numerical form of dyslexia. I don't know. I have zero aptitude for mathematics. So if your aptitude for sim racing is that bad, then yeah, you're going to struggle, right? But from coaching, I encounter very few people whose aptitude is that bad. Most people are distinctly in that average, Joe average category. And that Joe average category can absolutely get to B rank and can absolutely get to A rank with the proper application of driving technique and mentality and approach. Now, if you want to get faster, we've got all the resources at Digit Racing. You know, Digit's got the partnership with Coach Dave that just came out. Recommend Coach Dave Douter, of course. Digit's been coaching for goodness knows how long. I think he's well over 1,000 hours now. He's got the masterclass. There's me. My coaching reputation is quite well known now. So we can train you to get faster. Everyone's capable of being faster than they think they are. I absolutely believe that after 350 hours of coaching. Everyone's capable of being faster. That plateau that you're currently stuck at, you can break through it, I guarantee it. So if you work on getting faster and you take this calm approach, there we go, look, P2 had a penalty. He both didn't pit and didn't change tyres. So if you take this calm, patient approach and you recognize the mistakes in your own races, yes, you have had dirty drivers. Yes, you've been unfairly pushed off. Yes, you have had your fair share of bad luck. But let's be honest, and I point the finger at myself first, and this is why I came back to the game, because I began to recognize this in myself. I'm responsible for a lot of my own bad races. Very often, if I didn't make the initial first mistake, it wouldn't have escalated into something more. If I didn't overreact, it wouldn't have escalated into something more. If I had made friends instead of enemies, it wouldn't have escalated into something more. So it's not my pace that pulled me through this race. I was cruising, missing apexes, missing gear shifts, fuel map 2, I'm cruising. And I know I'm at the level I'm at, but you could have podiumed that race if you were 2 seconds slower than me. 3 seconds slower than me, you could have got a top 5 here. I guarantee it, as long as you're patient about your driving. And that is what race IQ is, as opposed to racecraft. So I'm going to redo this series, and the second version, this version of this series, is the one I'm going to refer people to when they put those posts up on Discord about how bad the driving standards are. Yeah, the driving standards are abysmal the lower down you go. But don't make the mistake I did and blame it all entirely on everyone else. With the right application of training and the right mental approach and discipline, you can get through this game to a decent level and experience some good races. So thank you for watching. Get out of here and go race.